In this video, I will introduce you to a powerful visual tool for debates. It will change the way that you approach complex discussions by giving you a bird's eye view of the argument. If you're ever unsure of the best move in a discussion, then keep watching. This tool is going to help you see the bigger picture in a debate, like a chess grandmaster sees the chessboard. To explain this, let's think of discussion like a chessboard. Within that space, there are a lot of different possibilities for how you set up your arguments and your position. In chess, the key is to outwit your opponent with the pieces and position you have. A grandmaster might see certain squares or pieces as particularly important and discount others. In debating, it's the same. So, what does the chessboard look like? We can find one answer in the book Winning Debates by Stephen Johnson. Stephen introduces a tool that allows you to visualize a debate as a chessboard. On one side you have your arguments, and on the other side you have your opponent's arguments. The center represents the areas where the two sides are in contention. Space outside is about arguments which are irrelevant or agreed upon already. We can think of the center space in the debate is subdivided into separate sub-issues by horizontal lines. Depending on who has the strongest argument on that sub-issue, we can draw a vertical line. So each side of the centre space represents the different sides of the argument. This shows us which side is winning on that issue. Finally, each sub-issue might take up more or less vertical space. Some issues might be fatter and others thinner. This depends on what the most relevant arguments are in the debate compared to other issues, which are most important. So if you're having a discussion, how do you capture more space? In debate, a strong argument always has three parts: a central claim, some evidence that explains why that claim is true, and a relevance claim that tells us why it matters to the issue being discussed. Your arguments are like the pieces on the chessboard, but you have two approaches with how you use them. You can try to use your arguments to push one of those vertical lines towards the other side by presenting stronger claims or stronger evidence. But the argugram shows us another option. You can use your arguments to try to expand the area of certain issues that you're more likely to win. There are different strategies here. You may be able to win the debate by making one strong argument on a crucial issue. Other debates are won by winning several of the issues involved. Now we're going to give you a better idea about how this debate grid works in practice. Imagine we're debating the issue of whether cigarettes should be banned. The pro-ban side might argue that cigarettes are a major public health hazard and cause lung cancer. On the other hand, the anti-ban side might argue that a ban would result in lost tax revenue for the government and restrict people's freedom of choice. When we visualize this debate using the argugram, we can see that the pro-ban side has a strong argument on the sub-issue of public health, while the anti-ban side has strong arguments on the sub-issues of freedom and cost. With the rough position now set out, who wins is going to depend on how much space those different issues take up in the debate. This framework gives you a quick way of thinking about that while you're having the discussion. That means we gain a clear understanding of how we build our case in order to win the argument. The other thing this tool does is show you at a glance which side has the strongest case. The argugram helps you see visually which side is taking up most space. Whichever side is controlling the most area is winning the debate. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Now that you understand the power of this tool, let's take a few minutes to show you two ways that this might apply to any issue that you might be facing, whether that's in work or your personal life or something else. The first way is in your preparation. Why don't you sketch out a rectangle like this? Divide the space into some different sub-issues. Are there any sub-issues for which you don't have an argument yet? If so, you should cover those so that you have a comprehensive case. What arguments do you have that are actually weaker than the opposing case? Can you do anything to preempt their arguments? If you can, and you can modify your case so that their arguments no longer apply, that puts you in a better position to have the discussion. Now, the second way is use this while you're actually having a real discussion. You'll be better able to identify why someone might be winning, and you'll be able to change your strategy accordingly. Will you capture space by winning more issues, or will you successfully convince others that the issues you're talking about are the most important? Remember, the strength of this tool is being able to see the bigger picture and prioritize issues at all times in order to capture more space. So now let's make this interesting. This visualization also takes our thinking about disagreement to a much higher level. It stops us from thinking that the side we like is the most rational and the side we dislike is irrational. Instead, this model suggests that both sides are rational. So why do they come to different positions? Because people often disagree about which arguments are strong and which are weak, and make different value judgments when prioritizing issues. Healthy debate at a high level is about why we should care about some issues more than others. It's less about whether something is right or wrong. And if you're wondering more about how you construct an argument to capture more space, then check out this video here. Or if you'd rather get some tips on how to deconstruct arguments you disagree with, then check out this one instead. And don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button to stay updated to my new videos. This is all going to help you articulate your words intelligently and be convincing in your ideas. So see you then.